Navigating through the energies of New Earth is not an easy process and can become extremely overwhelming at times. As we all ascend into higher frequencies, we're all being guided to embrace our own unique divine pathway, a pathway created in the vibration of love. Join Vibe Nation radio host, international psychic medium Carrie Turcotte as she guides her listeners to rediscover themselves by accessing the keys of knowledge that already exist within. Each week's show is divinely orchestrated to intertwine with the universal energies, allowing the listeners to go deeper within and understand the message being shared even greater. When you live in the frequency of love, there is no competition, so Carrie will be joined regularly by fellow soul family members who will bring forth wisdom and knowledge she knows should be shared on a global level. At the end of each show, Carrie will tap into the energies of the listeners to see what message Spirit wants to share with all those listening in for the upcoming week. If you really want to get to know who you truly are, come and join us now on Vibe Nation Radio, here on the IOM Radio Network.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio. And today's show, I have two very special guests, Amy Fitzgerald and Amy Hollywood. And we're going to be talking about twin flames, or twin souls, or as others confer them to, as those in divine union. And it's very ironic that we have decided to have the show today, because I know that there are a lot of twins out there that are truly wigging on this energy. Hello, ladies. Are you there?
I'm here. This is Amy Hollywood.
Hi, Amy. Amy Fitzgerald, are you there, my dear?
I'm here.
How you guys doing?
Doing okay. Hanging in there.
So, come on, bring up the volume, ladies. We're twins here. We need to bring up the vibrations for those listening in.
Thanks, Carrie, for having me. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and thank you to both Amy's for being here. Those that are listening in, what we wanted to do is we wanted to start going back to the basics first. And throughout the show, we'll go deeper into the twin flame journey. And for those that are listening that are very new to this, just know that take a deep breath. There are many that have been through what you're going through right now. And this is a process. It is a sacred journey back to one, meaning that this is sacred. So this is between you, yourself, and your beloved, and obviously God. And it's about you finding your way back to yourself. That really is the key that you need to know as a twin, especially for those that are just starting to wake up to the fact that they are a twin, because you probably think you're going crazy, you're psychotic, and you've probably turned into a stalker. So we want to talk a little bit right now, ladies, about, how this, when you become aware that you're a twin, how this affects you on a day-to-day basis.
It's very unique, I believe, to each an individual twin flame, and
yes,
as a couple, and so can't be necessarily defined globally in a way, but definitely very unique to yourself and your beloved.
And sorry, Amy, just once Spirit's coming through, and I just want people to know that it is a sacred journey back to one. So it actually is sacred to you and your beloved, as I said. We do have common denominators, where a lot of us will feel the same things. But again, what you experience is unique to you and you alone. Go ahead, Amy Hollywood.
I absolutely agree. And you'll find some things in a group when you start doing research that there are a few things that everyone experiences. But then as you evolve and you start to learn more and you get to know yourself more and your relationship with God is better, then there's things that are going to set you apart. And everyone is different, and there's not very many stories that are exactly the same.
Yes, absolutely. And
one of the most important words, I think, so far about the journey is alignment. Like, when you start finding alignment is when the little breadcrumbs seem to get bigger.
Yes. And I know when I think back of when I woke up, I mean, it was a long time ago, to this whole twin thing, but I those that are listening in, if you're new, please know there's a lot of us that have been on this road for a very long time. So there are people there to help you. And this really is a call home, because as you start to come in tune with yourself and being a twin, you will be called together with the soul family, and the soul family starts to show up. And it doesn't mean that you're going to meet somebody and they're going to be part of your life for the rest of your life. It could be that they're there to help you on your journey, but then we turn around and we shift and we go a different direction. And Amy Fitzgerald, you have a very interesting concept with regards to this that you speak about.
Yes, it was, I think, shown to me in a dream, in a sense, of the rays of the twin flames. There's always a lot of talk about the rays, and I don't have a lot of detail, but we were all like a jumbled group of people waking up, and then the more you awaken, the more veils lift, the more healing that you do, the more aligned you start on your mission path. And each, twin flame group or person that I may have encountered gave me a little piece of the puzzle. And then the more pieces of the puzzle you gain, the more of the image becomes clearer, and the more you align with your path. A little bit like the clocks, the hours on a clock. One ray or two rays, as they go around, you start to walk out towards your specific ray and your specific mission journey, which is what we're here for, and essentially,
yes,
is to be on mission.
Correct. Yes.
And when we say mission, my friends, you might not know what your mission is as of yet, but that's okay. Because as you align or balance yourself, you'll start to become more aware of what your mission is. And maybe your mission at the moment is just to spread love on this planet. Or maybe it's diffusing anger, because anger is a big thing. We're going to talk about this later, because there's a lot of masculine anger coming out of a lot of people right now, especially the twins. And the twins vibrate at a much higher frequency than the collective. And our mission here is we're, when it comes down to it, the twins are here to help humanity, help Gaia shift into higher vibrations so she can become in a frequency of love. And the twins themselves are here to help break down the templates. So when we're breaking down the templates and the family lineage energies as well, because they're connected within the family, that you're going to be, it's kind of like you shift up another level in frequencies. But again, it just, don't get lost into what ray I am, or what wave am I, or what is my mission? Because at the end of the day, as long as you're working on yourself and aligning yourself and just spreading love out there, you're doing exactly what you need to do, my friends.
I think you're right about that, Carrie. I feel like it is more of a day-to-day mission, as opposed to like spiraling higher every day elevating, every day choosing the higher choice from a higher consciousness, seeing the imbalance in a situation and choosing to go the spiral up instead of a spiral down, in a sense of your vibration and your frequency. Mm-hmm. So every day,
absolutely agree.
Every twin is already on their mission when you become aware of it, because you're constantly trying to create a better, even if the vortex is within yourself.
Yes.
Yes. It can even be as at your day-to-day job. If you are out working, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're just smiling at people, sometimes those are the little things that just kind of snowballs into the bigger things. And I think that's important. That's where it needs to start.
Yeah, it starts within. It does start with yourself, my friends. And this is a sacred journey back to one. So if you don't love yourself, how can you radiate love to those around you? Yes. So I know I don't really want to get into this next topic, because we've only got a few more minutes before we go to commercial break. But a lot of people on this journey end up giving their power to their beloved. And that's really it's not, I wouldn't recommend this is the thing you want to do.
Completely agree. I completely agree.
It seemed to be one of the phases at first, until you realize that it's not working, I guess, in a sense. And so you make the adjustment to observing it, and then making the energetic change, or allowing that change to happen.
Yes.
And I would like to, as we look at the moon and the stars and all the cosmic nature of everything around us, they're constantly pushing us forward in that. So it's in a way effortless, in allowing that process to happen. But,
and this is when your faith with yourself and God kicks in too.
Yes.
Because for those that are very new to this journey, some of you might even not know who your twin is, but the connection starts in 5D. It starts in the fifth dimensional energies. So you might not have anything to do with your beloved on a 3D reality base. But when you go within and you work with yourself, you and your beloved are always one, always have been. And the connection in 5D is very real. So it's just a lot of people cannot, how do I want to say this? They go into 5D, they have this beautiful connection, and then they come back into 3D reality and they just don't want to be here because they're not with their beloved. But in actual fact, this is something we signed up, my friends. We're trying to find our way back to one another, and we've been doing this for a very, very long time. 13,000 years.
Give or take a couple.
And standing in your power is how we help everyone. It's how we help humanity. It's how you help yourself. It's how you help your loved ones. And it's how you help your beloved.
Yes. And a few things, I don't know why Spirit's telling me this because probably we only have a minute before commercial, but there's some, going back to basics, please know, my friends, that not every single person on this planet is a twin. And if you're not a twin, be grateful, because this is not a fairy tale romance journey. This is not for wimps. I'll tell you that right now. And there's another big one out there that your twin flame can be anybody, including a sibling, a parent, or a child. That's not the case either, my friends.
I think there's some confusion around twin rays and twin souls, and yes. I mean, a lot of research to be had. But I think when you're going through it, you know there is no doubting.
Use your inner GPS, my friends. Your soul knows.
Yes, there is absolute. I mean, there may come up times that's a trigger in a sense, but also meant to be purged. So, but you know.
And you can't escape it at all.
Yes. It's like an elastic band, my friends. You can try and run all you want, but it's going to come back and smack you in the butt.
Yep, every time.
Stories are unbelievable if I weren't living it, and I can't make this stuff up.
Absolutely. So here's the music, my friends. We're going into the first break, and when we come back, we'll get deeper into this, and I'm sure Amy and Amy have some wonderful things to share with you all. We'll be back soon.
Thank you.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hey ladies, do you want to have that good hair day feeling all the time? Gentlemen, would you want your special someone to have that glow, letting you know she's feeling completely satisfied? This feeling and that glow can be yours by embracing your sexual power. So join me, Rachel Kenley, award-winning romance author, on the O-Spot. The O-Spot will guide you to that peak with guest interviews, book discussions, and conversations on the thrills of sexual empowerment. Put the zing back in your life. Come up and see me sometime on the O-Spot, live on Hump Day at 10 p.m. Eastern.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, and welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio. And today I have two very special guests, my dear soul sisters, Amy Fitzgerald and Amy Hollywood. And we're here to talk about the twin flame journey or twin soul journey, or those that are in divine union or on the divine path. And before we get into this next segment, because I do want the Amy's to take over, my beautiful Amy's, And there's lots of Amy's in our soul family, my friends. That's one thing we have as a joke in our family. There's lots of Amy's. And I just, as someone who is here to help people, if you're listening to this show right now and you're not a member of the Vibe Report, you might want to go in and take a look and subscribe. This is messages that I channel, and it has to help. It's to help twins on an everyday basis, how to navigate through this crazy energy that we're going through. And it just allows you to know that you're not going crazy, that this is truly what's taking place, so that you can embrace what is happening and not allow yourself to hit rock bottom.
I would say, yes, finding your soul family is like key to survival. And it's that place where you feel filled with light. And you have especially offered that through the Embassy of Light, of course. But it's a major part of being able to survive and guide yourself and, step into your own place on the journey.
I agree 100%, and it's a good way to kind of know what to expect in the upcoming weeks, days, some of the energies that's coming and going, why you're feeling certain things, and most importantly, when you're in a soul family, but just different soul families. Not everyone is going to be in the same one, and it doesn't mean that you're related. You could be, but it doesn't mean that you are related. It's just that you've incarnated through previous lives multiple times. And so you'll know those people when they kind of give you that warm, fuzzy, gosh, I really know them even though I just met them type of feel. And when you find those people, it's good to hold on to them.
Yes. And again, this is a journey, my friend. It's a process. There is no finish line, and there never will be. And it's not a race. So, people come to the family, people go, people come back. Again, it's just people are... we're in a very pivotal time right now here on Gaia, and we're being pulled all over the place. So you might find that you have a dear brother or soul sister, but all of a sudden you don't really resonate too much anymore, and they decide to go their own way. That's okay. There is no wrong or right to what we're experiencing. And to be quite honest with you, there's not really anybody on this planet that really truly can say this is the way it's going to be. Because none of us have been in these vibrations before, or we can't remember yet anyways, in a physical body.
Right. Right.
The vision I get too of the color wheel and kind of the clock combination is that in order to make up specific colors, they need pieces of other colors. There's primary colors and tertiary colors and secondary colors. Mm-hmm. So accumulating all of the different insights and wisdom from each group or person or soul family that you may be a part of, it's not just one piece. We're tiny bits connected to each person and maybe larger amounts of one soul family, but I believe we're all part of the same tapestry, creating a huge color wheel, and we all fit somewhere on that color wheel, but more aligned with some. Mm-hmm. The stronger we become into, our knowing.
Stepping into our power. Absolutely.
Right. And I think that's why it's important to mention that, you may, as you step into, I'm a twin flame, you're pulled to certain people. And in a few weeks, few months, few years, all of a sudden you don't really feel that warm, fuzzy gut feeling with them. And you get pulled to other people. They filled what they needed to teach you, and they're kind of helping you on your way. And I think all three of us have had many of those people come in and out of our lives, some good, some bad, but all in all, it was all to get us where we need to go.
Absolutely.
Yes, I've aligned before with non-twins, and it led me for 6 months down a path of lower vibrations and lower frequencies. Just how long was I willing to stay there?
Yes.
I have good bounce, so I don't like to stay there long. That's why. You, Carrie.
Our ego, or the boys, seem to come out and play with us very much during this journey. Just because your ego, and we say that nicely, my friends, we call it the boys in the Vibe Report. But your ego's been with you for a long time. So your ego knows how to play you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, when you have these moments and you're like right now, the anger in people, it's because we're being asked right now to release the masculine energies from past family lineage energies. This is from past lives. It's going through and getting rid of this negative masculine energy that we've all got inside of us and balancing it with the feminine. Now, regardless if you're the masculine or feminine twin, you still have to balance this, my friends, because every twin, yes, we are one, and one has the masculine energy and one has the feminine. However, within each one, there is masculine and feminine that you must balance.
Right. I think the easiest way to explain that is if you do it in percentage. Let's say one has 70% feminine, the other one's going to carry the 30%. You equal 100, and vice versa. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be equal parts of either one. You might have 1% of a certain energy, and your beloved is going to have the 99%. So being able to, and I think that's the biggest problem of going into the fifth dimension. We blend and we're one and we're together and we're doing things. And when we come back to 3D, where we live, that's Earth, that here we are, that sometimes the boys get in, they're like, oh, it's just your imagination. You don't really feel this, et cetera, they get in your head. And because we've lived with them our whole life, they know every little secret to be able to get us to shake our core, our knowing. And as we tame them and control them a little bit better, it definitely gets easier.
Yes.
Amy, you're reading my mind. I was just taming. Yes, that is what it is. Taming of the shrew in a sense, but we do live with them and we will always live with them.
Yes.
And we live together in peace.
Yes. We want the boys to dance with the SNS Soul Sisters very nicely. And for those who don't know who the SNS Soul Sisters, again, this is Vibe Report language. That's the signs and synchronicities. And the reason why we call them the Soul Sisters, because that's a feminine energy, where the boys, the ego, that's a masculine energy. Mr. Procrastination, Mr. Assumption, Mr. Fear Monster, Mr. Anxiety. Then you got the who, what, where, why, when, and how. That's, we call the word posse, or the 5W clan. But there's so many different areas to the ego, and we like to have fun. Us as the twins on the Vibe Nation, not Vibe Nation Radio, but the Vibe Report. Again, it's channeled messages to help guide you to say, this is what you could expect. And this week is about the feminine energy taking over and helping the masculine get through what they're feeling. And that's probably why there's so many of us that are waking up and we feel like we're the Incredible Hulks and we just want to blow up.
Well, and with that anger, every time you feel it and you observe it, you shine light on it and choose to not respond from that place. I mean, you're fixing it. You're healing it for everyone. Every time you choose that higher, again, consciousness step.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do. So observing it, I think that's a big part of a tool on this journey too, is observing the things that happen. Don't judge it.
Yes. And ask yourself, is this my energy or is this someone else's energy? And it doesn't necessarily
take responsibility for it. And
yes. Well, and it's a lot of people will say, well, it's not me, it's my beloved. Well, how do you know it's not your kids or, your girlfriends or whatever? Like, there's more to it, my friends. The twins are here to break the templates and create the new. So see yourself as, you're a transmuter. You're actually transmuting the lower vibrations into higher vibrations. So we are human. We have emotions. We go up and down. It's just that you want to be aware when the boys show up that you don't drop rock bottom with them and you hang out there for a week. You want to go embrace it and let it go, let it suppress. Don't suppress it. You allow it to flow through you so that, again, the light can shine through, because we are all releasing old karmic energies that have been connected to us for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I absolutely agree.
I feel like each twin is also maybe in a bubble, a certain bubble of collective consciousness, where they reside in that bubble and they raise it up. Each twin flame group possibly is in there to lift that certain section, whatever career you're in, whatever your past circumstances from this life or others, your DNA, any area that your experience is probably yours to kind of harness and lift and take control of.
Yep, absolutely.
Are you there, Amy Hollywood?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know your crazy grandmother's there. She's like, tell Amy to tell it. There's something on your mind, girlfriend, and they're saying, speak it.
Something on my mind. You know, why does she always come at the craziest times?
See, that's another thing too, my friends. If you're a twin, you're going to start to tap into your intuition, because we all are psychic, but a lot of us have extreme, powerful energy healing powers, or we're mediums. So this is something as you start to, once you kind of get out of the crazy stage, I'm crazy. Why am I stalking this person? Why am I feeling this? Oh my gosh. Like, I just feel like I'm a mental case. That's usually what you feel like.
And it's a phase. And so don't anybody panic.
Yeah, don't phase. It's just the very beginning. But when you think about it, when we all started to wake up, there weren't too many people out there that truly knew the twin journey. And now there are a dime a dozen. But again, this is where you need to ensure, my friends, that you go where your soul is connecting you. And not everything will resonate with you. If you're not part of that soul family, you might only have bits and pieces that resonate with you. That's great. Let go of that does not resonate, because it's not meant for you to, lower your vibrations over. Really, you're
accumulating tools.
Yes.
Like whatever piece you can gain that propels you forward, grab it, but nobody's offended.
No.
Right. And I think that's super important to know, because I think as humans in 3D, we get attached to people, things. You're like, oh, well, they helped me in the beginning, so I really need to stick with them. But the bottom line is it's okay to separate them. And people come in and out of our lives, like I was saying before, that are supposed to help us to our next step. And holding on to these energies that don't feel right to us just kind of holds us back. And, it's kind of like being strapped to the wall while you're trying to walk on the treadmill. You can't really get too far because it keeps pulling you back. And it's best to, cut the line. Then you can go forward. Yeah. And there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings. If you're with me and you're learning a lot, and then you decide that, nope, this doesn't work, there's no hard feelings. That's just not the way it is for twins. Love.
And let them then move forward to say, you know what, you and I are no longer in the same frequency. You need to fly and go towards the frequency that's calling you.
Yes.
It's just chipping away at it.
Absolutely. Okay, my friends, we're going to another commercial break, and we'll be back in a few moments, and we'll continue this conversation. See you soon.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Are you wondering what is really going on behind the news? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold Holland on Share on the Air Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us on shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for. Check it out.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Join Vibe Nation radio host, international psychic medium Carrie Turcotte, as she guides her listeners to rediscover themselves by accessing the keys of knowledge that already exist within. Each week's show is divinely orchestrated to intertwine with the universal energies, allowing the listeners to go deeper within. At the end of each show, Carrie will tap into the energies of the listeners and give a message from Spirit about the upcoming week. If you really want to get to know who you truly are, join Carrie each Monday at 3 p.m. on Vibe Nation Radio.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today I have two very special guests, Amy Fitzgerald and Amy Hollywood. And before we went to commercial break, I could feel the energy shifting between the three of us. And that's one thing that happens, my friends, when you're twins, when you're actually in in the energy of other twins, you kind of get spacey and you kind of like, let's just say you just kind of like don't know where you are. and this is just something that we experience, and we have to laugh with one another because this is something that we do experience quite often. And that's why a lot of people who are very new to this, when they connect with their twin, the energy is so intense that they can't handle it. And that's why they usually run from one another. And I don't like to put people into categories per se, but when you're learning what this journey is all about, it is important to understand why people label the runner and the chaser. And the way I look at it, we call ourselves the workers, meaning that if you and your beloved come into union or reunite, it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or, years that you're together and you separate. It's just because the spirits or the universe is saying you still have to clear your vessel so that the two of you can come together and merge in higher vibrations. And a lot of people can't handle the energy between the two. It's too intense.
I think, yes, I literally zapped mine like electrically. I feel like in my presence for just a bit, and then he would not be able to be around me for another 4 days.
Yeah.
And I was on the other side. He zapped me. And I'm like, whoa, this is scary. Run.
Yes.
So,
and
that was me.
My friends, at the very beginning, it's so confusing what's going on. And, you're very emotional. You're crying a lot. And it's part of the norm of what really happens when you become aware that you're a twin, especially if you have 3D stuff in place.
It's the releasing of everything that's kept you down. In 3D, I suppose.
Yeah. And Amy, the other Amy Hollywood?
Yes. Here's what I think that we should talk about is, when people hear this term, the first time I ever heard it, I was like, yeah, right. Go figure. And then the universe, in the universe's way, kept throwing it in my face, kept pushing me. And it's easy to say that, are you twin flame? In your gut, you're going to know. But when you're first starting out, you're going to question everything. Well, for me, let me turn this back. For me, I questioned everything. I said, no way in heck is this me. And I found every possible way to fight it. And essentially, you're fighting God. You're fighting against God instead of embracing God. And that's what this whole journey is about. And finding that inside of you and finding that faith inside of you. And then everything else just evolves. So if you're listening to this and you think you might be, chances are you are. But if you're listening to this and your first gut reaction is no way, I'm going to tell you just to do a little more, information, research, and come back to us. Because for me, it was 2 years from the first time I heard the words, I know where I was standing even, to when I finally said, all right, well, I'll look into this a little bit more. And then from there on, it's been a crazy, wonderful journey. And it's very, very special.
It's when you're in the dark that's scary. When you start shining the light on it, you're like, oh, okay, I can manage this if I have, soul family, if I have knowledge that resonates with me, if I have tools to release energy. And I always say we are not broken, we're becoming whole. And
and most twins' lives, my friends, sound like a Stephen King's novel. And the reason why I say this is because if you're in a fairy tale romance relationship and you're saying this is your twin, chances are you are soulmates. And I say that kindly. And if you are a soulmate in a soulmate relationship, beautiful for you, because and the reason why it sounds, I don't want to sit here and fluff it up. It is a beautiful experience, but it is challenging at times. And it's almost like Spirit is saying that, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just being pulled away right now. Ladies, go ahead, take over. I'm just being pulled somewhere.
Well, in a way, I think some women I know like to be worshipped in a way, and I find that balance interesting because I've dated before where someone would want to do everything for me, and that just didn't appeal to me because I'm like, I want to stand in my own light, in my own, and follow my own soul's choices with someone else who's doing the same, but together.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going with this, and now I know where I was talking about, was the Stephen King's novel. And I say that lightly, but we're here. Most twins are twins are starting to step into mission, and we're here to help Gaia. We're here to help shift and help humanity get into the frequency of love. And how do we teach? We have to teach through experience. So for me to turn around and say that I've had a beautiful life and I haven't had many challenges, how could I possibly help people that are going through some very dark times if I have not experienced it myself? I can't. So that's another reason why, my friends, if you're a twin and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take any more of this, my life has been like this, well, it's because you chose to learn more valuable lessons so you could help more of humanity when the time was right. And that's what's happening right now. We're all stepping into that time where Gaia needs us, and so do people in, humanity. How many people have said to you, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on? And it's something simple. Like, I keep losing my memory. I think I'm getting Alzheimer's. You're like, nah, it's the energies. We're supposed to be living in the moment. It's all good. Right. Something as simple as that.
This is it. That's the empowerment. It's taking it when you feel lost or you feel, and then spinning it in that direction. That is kind of helpful, that guiding you. I have a friend of mine, a guy, and he's tender-hearted and kind and generous and all of these wonderful things that aren't always acknowledged as a gift for men in the current 3D world we're living in. And he gets a little down, and I had to remind him that you came to lead. Just because you see these other men doing and getting away with certain behaviors of the old, don't get down. Recognize that you came to lead. So
yeah,
acknowledging when so many are doing it different than you recognize as the right way. You have to step into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and think about this. Like, we always say that good news travels fast. Well, not really. It's usually the bad news that travels fast. And usually good news is kept hush hush. And it's the same thing, that not too many men, because if I was to say to you, my listeners, that probably 60% of my clientele are males right now, you're like, yeah, whatever, Carrie, but they are. But they don't know how to deal with what's going out there in the masculine world. So when they come to Carrie, they turn into little babies and they start to cry. And I say this kindly because they can share who they are as a person with me, and I'm not going to make fun of them because they're not in that masculine. And I feel that's why the masculine energy is so intense right now with so many people. And the twins are, there's not one twin that I've talked to in the last couple of days where their life has been beautiful for the last week. We're all over the place right now with this anger that's coming out of everyone. And this is a template, a 3D template that we're trying to shatter for all of mankind. So be good to yourself.
Right. And when you say template, I think for some of our new listeners, that templates are a way that we have been for years and years and years. Whether it's through your family, there's probably certain, characteristics that you notice in your family. Either, you get the funny gene, or you get the angry gene, or you get other ones. And that's sort of what a template is, that it's just the way our world has been. And as our world changes, some of the reason why I feel like the men are so all over the place is because it's different. And they really don't know what their place is. If you go back 50 years, the men did certain things. And now, in this life, this time frame, their roles are being changed, just like women's roles are being changed, or the feminine energy is being changed. And as we change, it just feels uncomfortable because we don't know what we're really supposed to do. We feel it, but we don't really know. And as we ease ourselves into them, I think it's going to get a whole lot easier. But we have to be able to just let this energy flow through us and be able to say, nope, not going to do it that way. That isn't the way it is anymore. Yes. And whatever it is. Yeah. And I think a lot of beautiful things are going to come, probably very shortly.
It's energetic evolution.
Yes.
I've been saying this for a while, and I didn't understand where it even came from. But now that I'm on this journey, a lot makes sense. But women have been pushed down for so long that it was in our place in a way to stand up and claim our spot. That men are being humbled, and that's a new place for them. The pendulum is swinging, and they're trying to get their bearings on exactly where they fit in this new model. And, I'm happy to see the masculine balancing.
Yes, absolutely. And think about how many men out there, my friends, that if you're either listening and you are a male, or those that are female listening, how many male people do you know that have been lately kind of, their lives are changing and they might not know what's going on, but it's kind of like I see many men that they know they're not who they were last week or the week before, but yet to stand up into their power and allow this feminine to step in, they still need help from the feminine to be able to help them with this. Mm-hmm. And as a twin this week, that's something we're working with, the female energies. We're in an extreme energy cluster, my friends. This is the second one. This one's 7 days now. And last week's cluster, I was feeling great for the first few days, and then boom, I hit rock bottom. But in our soul family, we find when certain people hit rock bottom, other people go up. It's like we balance one another. And that's one thing about the soul family, if you're a twin, that we help one another, because not all of us could be high at one moment or low at one moment, because it would throw the whole family off. We have to work with the energies with one another to help one another, to say, okay, today I'm feeling great, feeling that love, sending that love, radiating that love, knowing that you're helping those that are feeling like not too well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel like in the soul family, you have the ones that do the teeter-totter. You have certain ones that go one way and the other ones go the other way. And then you actually have like a third group, or at least this is the vision that I'm getting. They're kind of in the middle. They don't really go up and down too much. They're kind of like your balancers. So if too many go one way, they kind of move out. Like I have a teeter-totter in my head. They kind of go out to even it out, and they go out to even out. If too many go one way or another, even though we're process energy differently, that there's some that stay in the middle too. Yeah. And that's just kind of what I've been seeing lately.
Oh, seeing you were right on there, hey, Amy.
All right.
They're like, let's go to a commercial break on that one. Here comes the music. So when we come back, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the weekly reading, and the ladies are going to step in on what message they're getting from their higher selves to help all of you this week during this crazy energy. We'll be right back.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, mediumship messages and musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
What if living didn't have to be so serious?
What if you could move beyond your problems with greater confidence and ease than you've ever imagined?
Throw your labels out the window and join the Irreverent Therapist for practical tips and a very different way of approaching the changes you would like to create.
Marilyn Bradford
and Pam Hodling
have empowered hundreds of people to come out of self-judgment, quit looking to experts, and begin to create the lives they desire.
Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Irreverent Therapist Show.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, and today I have two very special guests, Amy Fitzgerald and Amy Hollywood. And we've been talking about twin flames or twin souls. And this is the time in the show where I turn around and I tap into spirit and I get the messages that they want to give to all of you. Now, because we're talking about twin flames, I'm feeling that there's a lot of twin flames listening right now. And what Spirit is saying to me is that it's time for you to take back your power and realize that you and your beloved are one, always have been, always will be. And to kind of let go of that 3D thought of, well, they're them and I'm me. This is about the fact that you are one. They live their own reality. You live your own reality. And that's why we are guided to go into 5D, where you're already obviously connected and there is no physical two bodies in 5D. It's just that 5D just is. It's energies. And Spirit is saying that a lot of people have actually slacked off with regards to their meditations and with regards to their spiritual practices. So they're guiding us this week to go back into meditation and really focus on, on yourself and allow yourself to get in tune with who you are, because there's a lot of family lineage, they're saying, that's being broken right now. And when I say family lineage, my friends, think about what you're dealing with right now and take a look at the family and see how many people have actually dealt with what you're dealing with, or how many people have actually already gone through what you've gone through, because this is a family lineage that you're actually breaking to be able to move forward so that it stops with you, but you're also at the same time helping all of humanity once again. So they're saying that any choices that need to be made, don't worry about it. Live in the moment, because those choices will be made at the end of the week, possibly over the weekend. And whatever you're conforming to right now, you won't be conforming to it anymore, but you need these next 4 or 5 days, they're saying, to go back into meditation and balance yourself, knowing that the feminine energy is taking over this week. And if you don't allow that feminine energy to take over, the masculine energy is going to pull you back down. And one of the things we've been talking about in the Vibe Report is like, we're in the washing machine, and we're in the washing machine for the next 3 months, my friends. And the first cycle just finished. And yesterday, the water started filling up. And today, the water's filling back up on that washing machine. And you and your beloved are in that washing machine. However, the masculine energy is stuck at the bottom of the washing machine with the sweater and the bra, and it's caught. And the masculine energy needs help being pulled out. So please work with them this week, my friends. And if you're the feminine energy, don't put your beloved down. They need you right now. They truly do.
I think that that's very important to remember. 3D reality is different than 5D energy. And things are going to happen in this journey that are going to trigger you in 3D. They're going to, a lot of people that come to me are worried about being blocked, or they won't return text messages or emails or phone calls or whatever. Just let it go. Let it happen. Yeah. People will say, well, should I reach out? If you feel guided to reach out, and this is true guidance coming from within and not because you just want an answer, is do it. And if they answer, great. If they don't, great. It's exactly how it's supposed to be, and you will come together when you're supposed to.
Exactly.
There's no other way to do it. You can't force it either.
The whole blocking and unfriending me and doesn't want anything to do with me now. Think about it, my friends. How many of you actually co-created that? Most people don't realize that they co-create their reality through their thoughts, their feelings, and their words. And if you're telling the universe that
today.
And this is weird today. I just want you guys to know, because I think we just got cut off. I'm doing some crazy things at my end. Amy, you got kicked off, didn't you?
I did. I got kicked off.
Okay, and
totally off.
I don't even know if we're on OMTimes again. I lost OMTimes. So those that are listening, just this is how the twin energy works. And I don't know where we lost you guys all, but it was all of a sudden OMTimes was no longer connected to us. So they are on right now. I can see that we're now connected. So I don't know what just happened.
That's crazy.
The magic of the ride.
Well, and this is the first time, my friends, that this has ever happened in one of the radio shows. And that just goes to show you the power that the twins have when we get together. We can
power
play
and importance.
Yes. So now, to be able to find Amy and Amy, go to the Embassy of Light on Facebook, my friends. I will put some information up there for you to be able to find both of them. And they've got their own mission, the own work that they're doing. Personally, I work with the Vibe Report. So if you're interested in the Vibe Report, just go to carrieturcott.com, and over on the right-hand side, you can see the Vibe Report. You can read about it. You can see what other people are saying. But it truly is just guided messages that I channel from the Embassy of Light, which is a place in 5D where we're already in union with our beloveds. And it's guidance from our higher selves to us so that we don't go crazy on the day-to-day of what takes place on this mission, because every day is a different day. You just need to embrace the energies as they come in and know that you're here for a bigger purpose.
Yes. I would highly recommend that you go and check it out. If it fits with your soul, you should come join us.
Yeah. You'll know almost immediately, my friends, if you go on and you're like, what is this chick talking about? You're not part of the soul family. And I'm not going to take it personally. That means go find your soul family and spread your wings with them, because there is no competition. And honestly, we're all here to help humanity, especially the twins. So there is no wrong or right. If you resonate with the work, great. If you don't, that's okay. It's just a way to help you on your day-to-day mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, anytime something doesn't fit, it's just pushing you more towards where you're supposed to be. So
Absolutely.
You don't have to judge it or be offended or just let it guide you.
Yes.
If it's pushing you away.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
And Amy, just before we got cut off, I can't remember what you were just talking about. See, working with you guys for this hour, I'm totally wigging out on the energy. How about you?
Yes, absolutely. One thing, if we do another show, I would love for people to write in and the questions or struggles that they have. Yeah. And that we could go through and answer them. And because all of our journeys are different, especially us three, I bet we would have three different answers. And, you're not going to get the same answer from any one two people.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen. And that's okay.
How we all are different.
Yes. And that's what makes our family unique, because we are all different. And everyone, you're a piece of the beautiful puzzle. But it's just when your puzzle piece starts to light up, we work together and we create magic together. Because again, we're all on different journeys. We're all in different places. I'm not going to say who, but there's, when you think about the three Amy's, we've all got different journeys. We've all had certain situations with our beloved that are very unique and very different. Yes. So this is what you need to know, that as a twin, you are an ascended master here to help shift Gaia into higher frequencies. So embrace the fact, if you're a twin and this is crazy, yes, it is crazy, but you know what? At the end of the day, you chose this mission. So as I can hear my dad saying, suck it up, buttercup.
Right.
And know that, that's why you have your soul family, so you can all go crazy together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So.
Yes, absolutely. The soul family is definitely, it's like brothers and sisters you never knew you had. And it's definitely an excellent experience.
It is. And so if anybody is looking for guidance, or they have questions they would like us to answer, please, again, go to my website, carrieturcott.com, and send me an email. And what we will do is, because I've already tapped into June's energy, and I'm going to be putting together a schedule very soon. And I was told to leave it blank for a reason. Well, this is probably why. So we might turn around and do a couple of shows in the month of June that are specifically for twins, just so that they have the guidance that is there. Because, again, the three of us have been on this journey for a while, and we want to help those that are just waking up, or those that have lost themselves in the social media miscommunications or the disinformation that's out there. So
I found myself getting so plugged into it that I wasn't moving forward. I was just, every day it was kind of stifled.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of ADD where I have to have movement pretty regularly. So it was just kind of important to move forward. And I felt stuck sometimes.
And if you're on social media, my friends, and you've been in there for a while and you still haven't moved any further on your journey, I would suggest that you take an international week to yourself and stay off social media and see how much you grow on your own, because you'd be surprised just how powerful you truly are. Mm-hmm. So thank you again, Amy.
And you need to rely on yourself.
Absolutely. Amy Fitzgerald, Amy Hollywood, I love you both dearly. You know that.
Thank you, Carrie. Love you.
And anyone,
thank you so much.
If you're looking for help, please go to the Embassy of Light on Facebook or go to my website and know that we're here for you. The twins need to stick together.
Any support we can offer.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful week, my friends. And remember, the feminine energy is kicking in. So allow the anger to come out of you, knowing that it's ready to be released. Have a wonderful week, my friends. And we'll see you next week where I have the spiritual comedy show. It's going to be awesome with Rachel McNeil.
Can't wait. Thank you.